Hello children. Today we begin with a new lesson, circle. Now here we find different type of circles drawn. First one, congruent circles. What do you mean by congruent circles? Two circles which have the same radii are called as congruent circles. Next, concentric circles. Circles which have the same center are called concentric circles. Intersecting circles are circles which have got more than one common point. So they intersect at more than one common point, and that's why they are called intersecting circles. Okay. Then we go to a topic, secant and tangent. Now we just need to know the definitions. We must know what it means. Now tangent, now you must be familiar with both these terms. A tangent is a line which touches the circle at just one point. Now if you look at figure 3.8, the second figure, you find the line M which touches the circle at the point P. So this line which touches the circle at just one point is called as a tangent. And the point at which the line touches the circle is called the point of contact. Okay. A secant, on the other hand, is a line which passes through the circle. It intersects the circle at 2 points. So in the third figure, you have line N, which intersects the circle at 2 points Q and R, and therefore it's called as a secant. Now the next topic that we come to is tangent theorem. Now here you just need to know the statement. A tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius at the point of contact. Okay, so a tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius at the point of contact. Now if you consider figure 3.10, you have a circle drawn. OA is the radius, line L is the tangent. Now according to this theorem, the tangent that is drawn will be perpendicular to the radius of the circle at the point of contact. That means angle OAL will be equal to 90 degrees. That's what it says. Okay. Now the converse of this theorem, again here you just need to write the statement, no need of the proof. A line perpendicular to a radius at its point on the circle is a tangent to the circle. So if you have a line L which is perpendicular to the radius of a circle, it means it is a tangent to the circle. So that's the converse. Next, we go to the next important part of the lesson, which is called tangent segment theorem. Now this theorem is very important in terms of from your exam point of view. It's a very frequently asked question. It is usually asked for 3 marks. Now what it says is, tangent segments drawn from an external point to a circle are congruent. So your question will be like this: prove that tangent segments drawn from an external point to a circle are congruent. Now given and to prove are not given here, but you need to write it when you write it in your classwork. Now what is given to you in this theorem? A circle with center A, tangents DP and DQ are drawn from a distance DA from the center of the circle. Okay, that's given. To prove segment DP congruent to segment DQ. Now this is what you have to prove. Now for construction, what you have to write is join PA and AQ. Okay, that will be your construction. Now proof, it is given in your textbook. You need to write the same thing down. There are few blanks. We'll discuss what is to be filled up in these blanks. In triangle PAD and triangle QAD, segment PA congruent to segment QA. So the first blank you're going to write QA. Segment PA congruent to segment QA. Reason, they are radii of the same circle. Segment AD congruent to segment AD. There is a dash. What must you write in this? You will write common side. Okay, common side. Angle APD equal to angle AQD equal to 90 degrees. Tangent theorem. Therefore, triangle PAD congruent to triangle QAD. In the next blank, you're going to write the reason why it is congruent by hypotenuse side theorem, hypotenuse side test. Okay. So triangle PAD congruent to triangle QAD by hypotenuse side test. Therefore, segment DP congruent to segment DQ CSCT. Okay, corresponding sides of congruent triangles. So this is how you have to write the proof. Children, I hope it's clear. Now, here you need to write given, to prove, construction, and the proof. When you are asked to write when you are asked to prove this theorem for your exam, you are given marks for all this: given, to prove, construction, and proof along with the figure. So please remember to write everything in your classwork. After this, before we start with the exercise, these are few things. Remember this: tangent theorem. The tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to its radius through the point of contact. A line perpendicular to a radius at its point on the circle is a tangent to the circle. Now this is converse of the tangent theorem. Tangent segments drawn from an external point to a circle are congruent. So now these 3 points summarize all the different concepts that we learned before we do the exercise. Now I'll quickly tell you what are the things you need to write before we start with the exercise. What you need to write first: the chapter name circle. Then you will draw this secant and tangent. You will draw figure 3.8, the figure B, the second figure, write the definition for tangent. The third figure, write the definition for secant. I've explained it to you how to write it. After that, you will write tangent theorem and write just the theorem, the statement. Okay, no need for the proof, just the statement. After that, go to the converse of tangent theorem. Again, only the statement is required. Next, tangent secant theorem, tangent segment theorem. You need to write its tangent segment theorem, children. In case I have told it as tangent secant, it is wrong. I'm sorry. It will be tangent segment theorem. Okay. So tangent segment theorem, you need to write given, to prove, construction, proof, and the figure. Okay. After this is done, you can start with exercise 3.1. Children, I hope it is clear the things that you need to write before we start with the exercise. Now, first question in this exercise 3.1, in the adjoining figure, the radius of a circle with center C is 6 centimeter. So when they say radius is 6, it means CA, the distance CA is 6 centimeter. Line AB is a tangent at A. Answer the following questions. First one, what is the measure of angle CAB? Y. So what will be the measure of angle CAB? CA is the radius, AB is the tangent. So what will be the measure of angle CAB? Measure of angle CAB will be 90 degrees, and the reason will be tangent theorem. The radius is perpendicular to the tangent. So that is why it is 90 degrees. Second question, what is the distance of point C from the line AB? So that distance is 6 centimeter. Reason is because it is the radius of the circle. Third question, distance of AB equal to 6 centimeter. Find the distance of BC. Now AB is 6, CA we know is 6 centimeter given. So find distance of BC. What must we do? We must use Pythagoras theorem in order to find the distance BC. So BC square is equal to BA square plus AC square by Pythagoras theorem. Substitute the value 6 square plus 6 square, 36 plus 36, 72, and therefore BC is equal to root 72. So by writing it in the lower numbers, 3 into 3, 9, into 2 into 2 into 2 is 8, 9 8s are 72. So you get your answer 6 root 2 centimeters. Okay, so that's question number 3. Next, for question number 4, question number 4, what is the measure of angle ABC? Why? So from the figure, we have to find out what is the measure of angle ABC. Now we know measure of angle CAB is 90 degrees, right? Because radius perpendicular to the tangent. Now we know that AB equal to AC is equal to 6 centimeters. So measure of angle B and measure of angle C are equal. Let it be X. Why? Because they are angles opposite to congruent sides, and therefore both those angles are equal. So suppose you consider them to be X, angle B and angle C, let them be X. So X plus X is equal to 90 degrees, 2X is 90, therefore X will be 45. Therefore measure of angle ABC will be 45 degrees. Okay, so that's question number 1. In the second question, you have in the adjoining figure, O is the center of the circle. From point R, segment RM and segment RN are tangent segments touching the circle at points M and N. If OR is equal to 10 centimeter and radius of the circle equal to 5 centimeter. So OR is 10, radius is 5. Radius means OM equal to ON equal to 5 centimeter. First question, what is the length of each tangent segment? That means you have to find out what is length of RM, what is length of RN. Obviously, they'll be the same. Second question is to find out what is measure of angle MRO. And third question is to find out what is measure of angle MRN. So these are the questions. So let's go to the first question of this. In triangle OMR, you have OR square equal to OM square plus MR square. Children, look at the figure carefully. Angle OMR is 90 degrees because OM is the radius, MR is the tangent. So the angle between the radius and the tangent is 90 degrees. The side opposite to 90 degrees is the hypotenuse, that is OR. So according to Pythagoras theorem, OR square is equal to OM square plus MR square. Substitute the values. OR is 10, OM is 5. So 10 square equal to 5 square plus MR square. 10 square is 100, 5 square is 25. 100 minus 25, 75 is MR square. Therefore, MR is square root of 75. So you get your answer 5 root 3 centimeter. So both the tangent segments MR and NR are 5 root 3 centimeters each. The second question is to find out the measure of angle MRO. If you look at the figure, you find OM is equal to half of OR. That is, if angle MRO were 30 degrees, the side opposite to 30 is half of the hypotenuse. Therefore, angle MRO will be 30 degrees by converse of 30, 60, 90 degree triangle theorem. Okay, so we get angle MRO is 30 degrees. In the same method, you will find angle ORM. In the other triangle ORN, in angle ORN will be 30 degrees. What is the reason? It is the angle which is opposite to the side ON, and ON is half of the hypotenuse. Therefore, the angle, the side opposite, the angle opposite to the side opposite to 30 degrees is coming half of hypotenuse. Therefore, that angle will be equal to 30 degrees. Same reason, converse of 30, 60, 90 degree triangle theorem. Therefore, angle MRO plus angle ORN, and by angle addition property 30 plus 30, it comes to 60 degrees. So angle MRN is 60 degrees. Okay. Children, I hope all these three questions are clear to you. We next go to question number 3. Question number 3. Segment RM and segment RN are tangent segments of a circle with center O. Prove that segment OR bisects angle MRN as well as angle MON. So you have to prove that segment OR bisects angle MRN and angle MON. Now what you need to do for this question is, we are going to prove these two triangles congruent. Which two triangles? Triangle MRO and triangle NRO. We'll prove them congruent. And once we prove them congruent, these two angles will prove it as congruent by CACT. So let's see how to do that sum. Question number 3. So this is the figure. You have to prove angle MOR congruent to angle NOR. So then those two angles are equal. Similarly, angle MRO congruent to angle NRO. So if you can prove these two sets of angles congruent, it means OR is the angle bisector of angle MRN and angle MON. Okay. So what is a proof? You consider both these triangles, MOR and NOR. You have angle OMR equal to angle ONR 90 degrees because by tangent theorem. Hypotenuse OR congruent to hypotenuse OR common side. OM congruent to N, radius of the same circle. Therefore, the triangles are congruent by hypotenuse side theorem. Therefore, these angles are congruent by CACT. Thus, segment OR bisects angle MRN and angle MN. This is how we have to prove it. Okay. We go to question number 4. Question number 4. What is the distance between two parallel tangents of a circle having radius 4.5 centimeter? Justify your answer. Now, we draw the figure for question number 4. You have a figure drawn like this, a circle whose radius is 4.5 centimeter. We have drawn a tangent at the point M. So the tangent is AMB. Similarly, there's another tangent drawn at point N, that is CD is the next tangent. Okay. Now these are the two tangents drawn. Now OM is the radius, AB is the tangent. So OM perpendicular to AB, tangent theorem. Similarly, ON perpendicular to CD. By same reason, tangent theorem. Now AB is parallel to CD because the interior angles are supplementary. Both angles OMB and angle OND are 90 degrees each. Therefore, together 180 degrees. Therefore, the interior angles are supplementary. You have M dash O dash N. That means the points M, O, N are collinear. They lie on the same line. And therefore, MO plus ON. We can add this up. 4.5 plus 4.5. The distance between the two parallel tangents, you get it as 9 centimeter. Okay. So, that's question number 4. With this, we finish with exercise 3.1. We have 4 questions and all 4 questions are done. You are supposed to be writing it in the classwork with proper figures drawn, questions written and the answers written. Okay. So with this, we finish exercise 3.1. Exercise 3.2 is a very simple exercise. You have the concept called touching circles. What does it mean? If you have two circles which touch each other at one single point, they are called touching circles. It could either be externally touching circles as in figure 3.22, or they could touch internally like as they have shown in figure 3.23. Now, if the circles were to touch externally, the distance between the two centers would be sum of the radii of the two circles. And if they were to touch internally, as in figure 3.23, the distance between the centers would be the difference between the two radii. Okay. Okay. Next. This theorem says if two circles touch each other, their point of contact lies on the line joining their centers. Okay, as shown in the figures A and B. Now we go to exercise 3.2. Now before we start with the exercise, what are the things you need to write? What you need to write is write the topic touching circles. You will write figure 3.22. You will draw and draw figure 3.23. For the first figure, write as externally touching circles. For the second one, you will write it as internally touching circles. That's all is required. You can write the statement of this theorem. If two circles touch each other, their point of contact lies on the line joining the centers, and you can draw figure 3.26 A and B. Okay. The proof is not required, just the statement is enough. After this, come to this particular box, you will write this down. The point of contact of touching circles lies on the line joining their centers. Second, if the circles touch each other externally, distance between their centers is equal to sum of their radii. Third, distance between the centers of the circles touching internally is equal to the difference of their radii. You need to write these 3 points. Okay. Then we go to exercise 3.2. It's a very simple exercise. Question number 1. Two circles having radii 3.5 centimeter and 4.8 centimeter touch each other internally. Find the distance between their centers. What have you learned? If you have two circles which are touching internally, what will be the distance between the centers? Distance between the centers of the circle touching internally is equal to the difference of their radii. So you will subtract R1 minus R2, 4.8 minus 3.5. Your answer will be 1.3 centimeter. Now the second question is they touch externally and you have to find out what is the distance between the centers. Two circles of radii 5.5 centimeter and 4.2 centimeter touch each other externally. Find the distance between their centers. So you have to add both of them, 5.5 and 4.2, you get your answer 9.7 centimeters. Okay. Next, the third question again is very simple. If radii of two circles are 4 centimeter and 2.8 centimeter, draw a figure of these circles touching each other externally and internally. So you can do this. First, you will draw a circle with radius 4 centimeter. Then you will draw a circle with center 2.8 centimeter in such a way that both of them touch externally as in figure 3.26a and internally as in figure 3.26b. Okay. So I think children that you can do it on your own. Question number 4. In figure 3.27, circles with centers P and Q touch each other at point R. A line passing through R meets the circles at A and B respectively. Prove that segment AP perpendicular to BQ, triangle APR similar to triangle RQB. Find angle RQB if angle PAR is 35 degrees. So this question, we'll see how to do it. Question number 4. Now, in triangle APR and triangle RQB, you have segment AP congruent to segment PR. Reason? They are the radius of the same circle. Angle PAR congruent to angle PRA. What is the reason? They are angles opposite to congruent sides. Since PA and PR are congruent, the angles opposite to these congruent sides are also congruent. Now, similarly, in triangle RQB, QR is congruent to QB. Again, they are the radii. Angle QRB is congruent to angle QBR. Same reason, angles opposite to congruent sides. But angle PRA is congruent to angle QRB. Reason, they are vertically opposite angles. Therefore, from equations 1, 2 and 3, what do we get? Angle PAR congruent to angle QBR. Okay. But they form a pair of alternate angles, A dash R dash B. Therefore, AP parallel to segment BQ by alternate angle test. Okay, that's why AP is parallel to BQ. Okay, so that's the first question for you. Second, you have to prove triangles PAR and QBR congruent. Similar, sorry, not congruent, similar. So what you need to do, take triangle PAR and triangle QRB. Now angle PAR is congruent to angle QRB. Okay, angle PRA is congruent to angle QBR. Therefore, both the triangles are similar by AA test. Okay, both the triangles are similar by AA test of similarity. Now the third question is to find out what is angle RQB. How will I find angle RQB? Now you are given angle PAR as 35 degrees. Now if angle PAR is 35, even angle PRA is 35 degrees because both angles are congruent. Now if angle PRA is 35, even angle QRB and angle QBR is also 35, right? So angle QRB and angle QBR is 35 degrees. Now what you must do is consider triangle QRB. If both these angles are 35 each, together they make 70 degrees. In triangle QRB, 180 is the sum of measures of all angles of triangle. So 180 minus sum of the other two angles, 180 minus 70, your answer angle RQB, you get it as 110 degrees. Okay, so that's question number 3. Yes. Next, we go to question number, question number 4 is over. We go to question number 5. In figure 3.28, circles with centers A and B touch each other at the point E. Line L is a common tangent which touches the circles at points C and D respectively. Find the length of segment CD if the radii of the circles are 4 cm and 6 cm. So to do this, we have drawn the figure like this. There's a small construction to be done. Draw segment AF perpendicular to BD such that you get quadrilateral ACDF as a rectangle. So opposite sides CD equal to AF and AC equal to FD. Okay. So this is the construction that needs to be done. Now you are given that both the circles have got radii 4 and 6 centimeters. So AC equal to 4, FD AC is equal to 4 centimeter, BD is equal to 6. But since you have quadrilateral ACDF as a rectangle, AC and DF are opposite sides and therefore both will be 4 centimeter each. And therefore the remaining part of that segment BF will be 2 centimeters. Children, I hope you are able to understand what I am saying. Look at the rectangle ACDF. AC and DF are opposite sides of the rectangle. Therefore, both are 4 centimeters each. The remaining part FB is 2 centimeters. Why? Because the radius of that circle with center B, that radius is BD, that is 6 centimeter. So if DF is 4, the remaining portion FB will be 2 centimeters. Okay. Now, your question is to find the distance, the length of CD. Now what we will do here is consider triangle AFB. It's a right angle triangle. We will use Pythagoras theorem. AB is given, BF is given. So I'll find out AF. Once I find AF and CD will be equal in measure because they are opposite sides of the same rectangle. And so I'll get the value of CD. Okay. So here how you will do is you will consider triangle AFB. And using Pythagoras theorem, you have AB square equal to AF square plus BF square. So 10 square is AF square plus 2 square. So 100 minus 4. 96 is AF square. When you find the square root, you get 4 root 6 centimeter. That is AF, and that will be the value even for CD because they are opposite sides of the same rectangle. Okay. So with this, we finish question number 5 of exercise 3.2. So children, here in today's session, we have finished exercise 3.1 and 3.2. There are a few things which you need to write before you start the exercise. I hope I was clear about it. So please write and complete till exercise 3.2. Okay. Now, when we meet in the next session, before we begin 3.3, I think there are some children who are having doubts regarding what is to be written for the first chapter in similarity. That is, what are the things to be written in the classwork apart from your exercises. So I'll be telling you that before we start with exercise 3.3. So when we begin in the next session, I'll explain to you that and then begin with exercise 3.3. Okay. Thank you, children.